This video is brought to you by Aptoid. Save 15 to 25% on your Ebony addiction today. Don't pay full price for a broken video game. Link in the description below to show you how to set it up. So let's talk about mounted troop speed and ground troop speed skill books. I've been testing this for weeks and I have not found any evidence that ground speed or mounted speed change the battle outcome at all. Now it is possible there is something that I haven't tested. Like it might do something in a large rally, or there may be some kind of scenario where it will make a difference. But all my small tests and my large tests haven't made any difference whatsoever. And I wanted to figure this out before I made my next video, which was going to be all about defense. It's going to be about tier 1 traps. It's going to be about all the way to like a 20 billion keep, what buffs you should be focusing on, what troops you should build, what are the weaknesses and strengths that each kind of defense has. However, without knowing what mounted troop speed and ground troop speed did, I couldn't give a really accurate assessment. And today I'm going to conclude that they have little to no impact on any of the battles. So that's what I'm going to prove here today. And this little battle result we have right here, I have two battles. I sent the same amount of troops. They were both mostly mounted troops, tier 14s, tier 13s, and a bunch of tier 1s with layers of every type of troop. And my friend here had 40,000 of every troop. So no matter what the troop was, it would somehow, if it was affected by mounted troop speed, it would be affected in this result. And as you see, the results are the same. I had the same amount of wounds on him both times. And if we go down here, we'll see that I sent Electra because she has a dragon and no assistant general. And here we have an Electra with an assistant general, and the only thing he has is mounted troop speed, the level 4 skill book. Everything else was the same, no changes. And I've done these kind of tests repeatedly. I've also gave the main general the mounted skill book because maybe it didn't work on the assistant and the results were the same. And as you see, this is what the troops look like. It was basically mostly mounted on both times for me. Like I said, he was 40,000 of every troop. Now, doing this test, I did think that I came up with something. A lot of people told me, hey, I think I noticed that I have less wounds when I have a mounted speed book on my defense. And then I thought, well, maybe it just reduces your wounds from ranged attacks or skill, like siege attacks. So here I have another result, and I thought this was proof that it did something. And here we have 800 siege, and another one with 800 siege. This one had Electra with Tamaris. Tamaris doesn't do anything with mounted, so it didn't really matter. And I just had a whole bunch of mounted. It doesn't matter. As long as you have enough mounted to kill the siege in one hit, it doesn't matter. However, as you see here, we have 46 wounds versus 26 wounds. Well, this is a glitch, and it's I'll get back to that later. This has nothing to do with the mounted speed, and I'll prove that to you and show you how this glitch works, where it does something with your buffs and takes them away. In this battle, this is the same 800 siege, and I was using siege because I already did range. So here's 800 siege. This is 16, which is just double the amount, and normally I would expect, okay, 45 wounds right here. I would expect 90 wounds right here because it's double the troops. And it wasn't giving me that. And when I looked at the result, I noticed all the buffs were gone right here. And I had buffs right here. And I couldn't figure out, maybe this is a visual glitch, but surely all this money that we invest into Ebony, they upgrade their servers, and they have some of the best coders around to fix any glitches. And this is probably one of the most smoothest running games out there. Just a reminder, red Wi-Fi on Appcoins, save 15 to 20%. They've been running promotions to save even more than that. But yeah, Ebony, great game, you know, absolutely works great during Battlefield and any other time you need it. But for some reason, I was getting what I thought was a visual glitch, but it did affect the wounds. And here is a test I did with ranged. As you see, the ranged, it was the same amount of wounds, both 342 both times. Now, this time I was using Mansa Musa. He had a level 3 mounted speed skill book. And I did do ground as well, but I just saved all the mounted. I did mostly mounted. It's a lot easier. But you might think Mansa Musa, he has an attack reduction. That's not fair. The thing is, these two keeps right here, they have no buffs. He's not debuffing anything. So, same results. Mounted speed didn't do anything with ranged. And just to show you guys one of the ways I test this, here we have two attacks, 800 siege again. And what we do is I add a tier 3, a tier 2, along with a bunch of tier 1s. And the initial attack, the siege is going to attack the tier 3 because we attack from the top tier, or really in the case with mounted, you attack the one with the highest attack, which is the top tier, unless it's like reinforced or rally, but those mechanics are a little bit more in depth. But it attacks the top tier, tier 3. That troop dies. Then all the mounted move closer. Then the tier 6 siege attacks the tier 2. Then all the mounted move closer. And then attacks the tier 1. And then the tier 1 will kill off all 800 units. And this is without a speed skill book. This is with a speed skill book. And as you see, both times they had 8 wounds, and both times it was the third turn that they killed off the siege. And if I put a tier 4 above this, you would have 0 wounds on the tier 1. So speed doesn't affect how fast your troops get to a unit. Or if it does, it's so negligible, it doesn't even matter. If you take a general that has mounted speed, a level 4 mounted speed skill book, and you put a march of ground and mounted, and you run at a lone siege, the ground will always get there first. Even though mounted somehow have more speed and now they have a speed skill book, the ground will get there first. And all my tests show no changes. So if you guys do see changes, if you have some kind of evidence, you have a controlled test, and the thing is, when you get hit, sub-cities will have more or less troops. But if you have a test that you think that really, or a battle report that you really think shows that mounted speed did something, by all means, please contact me on Discord. I'm usually in the Ebony Mechanics Discord. I'm going to put a link down there below. You can just @Derek Defies on there, or you can find me in the game and shoot me a battle report. But as of right now, both attacking and defending, because I've done extensive testing on this, I have not seen a single difference in all the battles. So that's gonna bring me to ranged. Okay, so range does make a difference. Range skill books do make a difference, but I'm going to show you something quite interesting. Here we have an empty keep. It's already on fire. I'm going to attack it with a march full of 10 troops each. And Matthias right here has a level 4 siege range skill book. Okay. So what we're going to do is 10 troops of each. And then I'm going to, oh, went way too far. I'm going to send tier 11s. And then we're going to look at the battle report. Now, archer towers only attack mounted troops, and then they'll attack ground troops. But for what we're going to do is we're going to look at the defender. Notice that the archer tower had kills and the traps didn't. And we're going to look at the mounted troops. So mounted, that's 1. Tier 13, that's 2 hits. Tier 12, that's 3 hits. And tier 11, I didn't hit at all. So the archer tower hit me 3 times with a level 4 skill book. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to generals, go to my Electra, change out her ring to courageous one that gives you 10% siege. And we're going to do this again. Attack, and same thing, except this time I'm taking out Matthias. I'm going to give Roland. Roland doesn't have anything to do with siege, but we're going to go back to tier 11s. This time, no range skill book, and it's just the 10% ring. And let's look at the results. This time, battle details, look, okay, only the archer tower, no traps. And tier 14 had wounds, tier 13 had wounds, and tier 12 didn't. So this time it only hit twice versus the 3 times initially. So the ring gives more range than the siege. Than the siege skill book. So, you know, if you remember, all the ranges on the siege are pretty weird. And I bet you kind of wonder why, like why is all the range weird, like here, 1711. Everything else has a nice even base. Well, if you look at tier 1s are nice even. Tier 1s to tier 4s are a nice even 1400. If you add an additional 11.11% to 1400, you get 1556. And if you add 22.22% to 1400, you get 1711. And then you can do that with 33.33%, you'll get 1867. And this goes for all of them. So Ebony, when they were coding this, for some reason wanted to keep a base of 1400. Now they don't show it. They don't show a base of 1400, but it is in there. And what we can determine from this is that there's some kind of formula trying to figure all this out. Now, 10% of range of this 1867 is less than 200. It's 187, 186, whatever you want to call it. That is 10% of this. However, the skill book bonus says 200, which should be more than this, but we just proved that it's less. And through this testing, I have noticed that the skill books don't give as much range as they're claiming that they give. And I don't know if there's some kind of formula that, goes into this. Like the speed on these don't make sense either. So there is some kind of formula. Old Ebony had a formula that modified the speed, that modified the range. This is probably just to hide what's going on. And I've been working on figuring out what this formula is. I'm pretty close to it. But I needed to put out a video to show you guys, hey, I'm not dead. I'm actually still working on this. All right, so I mentioned a glitch. I'm going to share that right now. Basically, I'm in this tile right here, and I'm going to have 2 keeps attack me with the same troops. And they are the exact same kind of specifications. Both troops, both keeps have the same buffs. And I'm sending the exact same amount from both. And let's go ahead and look at the results. So here we have, I lost 55 troops, and they sent 5,000 tier 1 range troops. Okay. And in this next one, I lost 91, and they sent 5,000 range troops. Nothing was different. The buffs were the same on both of them. Here I have buffs, and they don't have buffs. I mean, they have, this little siege one, but we're using mounted. And this one right here, troop buffs. This one time I don't have buffs. And I mean, okay, you might be like, okay, well, like like and subscribe, they're different. So I'm gonna do like again just to prove the point. So like initially, let's do this again. So like had 53 runes. Okay, I haven't changed the buffs on anything, and let's see what it does again. So here's the battle report. Now it's 91. So this is some kind of glitch that affects tiles and camps. I reinforced my alliance city, did the same test. It didn't seem to affect the alliance city, so I don't think we're going to see it's going to affect us too much in Battlefield or anything like that, or in SVS. But this was affecting a lot of my results when I've been doing these tests. Because any developers messing with me. So yeah, guys, I just want to give you an update. Why it's been taking me so long to put out these videos. It's a ton of testing on the mechanics, and I don't want to put out theory. I want to put out actual facts. I've been collaborating with other Ebony players, and I'm trying to give you guys the best content so you can outplay everyone else. So look forward to the next video. It's going to be all about defense, and I'll see you there.